For the majority of the past 35 years, no one high school has sparked as much fear, respect, and in some cases loathing as has Permian High School of Odessa. The mere whisper of the Panthers' second nickname, the mysterious inspirational term Mojo, often sent shivers up the spine of the opposition. Since the school opened in 1969, Permian has won more state championships in the state's largest classification than any other school in the Lone Star State. During the 1980s, Permian won or shared 3 state championships, earning the program the title Team of the Decade. But if Permian was it's a matchup of powerhouse teams. Permian's wing team runs over opponents with the two-pronged backfield attack of Jaquay Wilbert and L.C. Ward. Judson, equally impressive, with Bruce Johnson, who has rushed for nearly 2,000 yards this season. It's a meeting of tradition, of power, and of dynasty. It's Permian and Judson for the 5A Division I Texas Bowl. Next.
Versus the Odessa Permian Panthers. Hi, everybody. I'm Kevin Eschenfelder. It's an absolute pleasure to welcome you to Irving, Texas for the first ever Texas Bowl. A couple of programs go at it today that know as much about winning the big one as any in the state of Texas. Between these two teams, 9 state championships. On one side for Odessa Permian, they're going to have to win their 7th state championship today. On the other side, for Converse Judson, they are looking for their 4th. A win for Odessa Permian would be their 76th postseason win in the history of the school, which would give them more than any school in the state of Texas. Converse Judson, on the other hand, going for their 3rd state championship in the decade of the 90s, which in essence would make them the team of the 90s. For more on this one, let's go upstairs. The gentleman who will call today's game, Craig Way and Ed Bile.
Thank you very much, Kevin, and good afternoon, everybody, as we get ready for the game. Division I, the largest classification in the state, and each team has taken some pretty impressive roads to get to the state championship round. Converse Judson has been most impressive as they've scored more than 40 points in each of their past 3 wins en route to the state title round. For Permian, also relatively easy, although Mojo was tested in the state quarterfinal round, a 21-21 draw with Arlington at UTA's Maverick Stadium, a game decided on a 6-3 edge in penetration. Joining me, that is a common thread for both of these schools. They love to keep the ball on the ground.
Well, both have a great ground attack, but the tradition, the spirit, everything you have going, everything you want. This is the most exciting high school game in the state of Texas. Should be an outstanding game, and the defensive team that can stop that running game, they will prevail.
Well, for Judson, it works twice as nice for Permian. They got 2 guys who are big-time weapons.
Amazingly, they have 2 running backs who have rushed for over 1,000 yards apiece. Both of them with great yardage, both of them with great numbers. Here's the sweep. You'll see sweep again. You'll sweep, and when you get tired of seeing sweep, you're going to see more sweep by Odessa.
Of course, that's Jaquay Wilbur stepping it into the end zone. He's rushed for more than 1,500 yards. L.C. Ward more than 1,200 yards this season. So each of these teams, powerhouses coming into this afternoon's game. What about there's Jason Pran. He is the quarterback, the 150-pound senior, and Pran, a very functional passer, not spectacular. They'll come out of that familiar look. Ward and Wilburn are the running backs. First offensive play of the game, and it's a pass. And that's Marine. Jeremy Marine out to the 35-yard line. A quick gain.
I'll guarantee you it's been a long time since Odessa Permian fans have seen their football team start that way.
Teddy Carrier back to receive the punt of Jeff Dinger. Dinger is also the backup quarterback. There's Teddy Carrier, outstanding receiver. Dinger's kick. Right toward Carrier at the 40. He fumbled the football. And that's going to be a Permian possession. The first turnover of the game. To Odessa Permian, it was a 30-yard kick.
See if he takes his eye, he looked ahead, he took his eye off the ball, which usually will happen. Championship game, trying to make things happen rather than going strictly with his fundamentals, looking it into his hand.
Given new life, Permian operates from the Judson 41. We'll see if they keep it through the air. Oh, it's a toss left. Here's the toss, sweep to Jaquay Wilbur. And Wilbur, a quick 9, almost 10 yards before Lavon Wilson can bring him down. That's the Permian offense folks are accustomed to seeing.
That's exactly what we expected. Sweep, something to the outside, whether it's a toss, whether it's a quick pitch. And the linebacker we were talking about earlier, Les Brown, forced that fumble.
3rd down and 2. Panthers. Wilbur, good running room. And a first down. Jaquay Wilbur. Lavon Wilson on the tackle. Only a gain of a couple. It'll be 2nd down and a long 8 for Permian with two receivers you see at the top of your screen, and the quick pass. This one out to the wingback, Moody. Pete Moody down to the 20-yard line. Moody the wingback. Larry Herrera on the one wide out. Teddy Carey the leading receiver. Dan Morgan the tight end. And you see the offensive line. It is second down and 10. And not much there at all for Matt Hare. Hare brought down. It is third and 10 for Judson. From the Rocket 39. Anderson the ball again. This one out to the 40. This is going to be well short of the first down. Swing pass out to the right side and not much there at all. Now it's two quick plays as the officials ruled the ball ready for play after that dead ball in the punt. This is Jaquay Wilburn. Wilburn out over the 45 to the 47. Les Brown made the tackle. There were two quick hitters for first downs for the Panthers. From the 48. Rogers is at the bottom of your screen, the wide receiver on the hip. This is Grant with running room. And Jason Grant with a first down inside the Judson 35-yard line. Schuler made the tackle with the ball for 18 yards.
Well, great design. They picked the counterplay they had great success with earlier. Cram rolled to the outside. This was a designated run all the way. Picked up a little block for the outside receiver there. Big first down for Odessa. Take a look at the court. Look at take that ball. Look at that ball handling. Round behind his back to keep it away from the defensive linebacker.
Most impressive march for Mojo so far. Permian at the Judson 34. Off to the right. This is Wilburn. The middle. Jaquay Wilburn. Saying goodnight to this one. It's a touchdown. 34 yards by number 34. Jaquay Wilburn.
Right back to the bread and butter stuff. And as Odessa strikes first here, those Mojo fans on the far side are awfully excited. But back to their bread and butter stuff. That was just a little sweep. Toss sweep. He turns it back behind the blocker. There's the toss designed to go. Look at the blockers in front of him. Three blockers in front, and he hit that hole. He smelled it, broke one tackle, and Wilburn shows you why he's gone over 1,000 yards this year. 1,500 some coming into this ball game.
Score today. Permian leads Judson 7-0. Chip game, Ed. This is old-fashioned Permian football.
Take a look at the block. A lot of Michael Gay and Bubba right up through there. They got into the block, going back off the line of scrimmage. They had Ward and Friend leading the play, the quarterback and the fullback leading the play. There you see the scoring drive, 6 plays, 83 yards. Wilburn on a 34-yard touchdown run, and the Mojos strike first.
Panthers did not waste much time
To play back upstairs, Craig.
from the eye. And this is Bruce Johnson. Johnson, we told you, came in with 1,993 yards. And on that first down play, he picks up Merrill Hill.
You see it, you can read his lips. He said nobody was open due to the great coverage. Odessa, I was just going to say nobody was open because of the coverage. He looked into the camera and talked to the sideline, said nobody was open. That explains the whole play right there, Frank.
Threw it that way, and it was Jeremy Marine and Jason Grant offering the good coverage for Mojo. It is now 3rd and 8 from the 29. And not much there for Matt Hare. Hare stopped by Jai Ballio and also Rory Couch.
Well, Captain Rory Couch, he came to play today. The 5'10", 210-pounder. In his district, he was voted the toughest opponent to line up and play against. They tried to surprise him by running a quick trap play straight up the middle on 3rd and 8, thinking of Odessa with the
Yards on the punt by Carletti.
Well, that was a great punt. That was high, 41 yards, great hang time. That ball hung up in the air, almost close to 5 seconds. That's allowed the coverage to get down there. Every coach would love to have that type of punt, that type of coverage every time.
Permian sets up at the 28. A wing to the left. And this is Marine. And Marine picks up 9 yards on first down. Lamont Wilson, the precinct.
It looks like he's going to get up. I don't know how effective he's going to be. I'm having a hard time to explain now. I think that young man is, unfortunately, will not be able to get back in this ball game.
Well, and that is a loss for Permian, not only on offense, but on defense and on special teams. Jeremy Marine, of course, outstanding punt returner. Helps out defensively as the starting right corner. And, you know, that's the way it is a lot of times with players on both of these teams. You lose one guy, you lose more than one position.
This guy has 4 people who play both offense and defense.
2nd and a yard to go for Permian. L.C. Ward has the first down at the 40-yard line. Herrera on the tackle for Judson.
For first down.
Jason Cran to lead the team to the line of scrimmage from the 40-yard line. 3 men in the backfield. And the toss sweep. Trying to turn the corner, does. And it's close to another Permian first down. Right at the midfield stripe. Looks like he may have it. Duncan Woods ran him out of bounds.
Yeah, Jim Wilbur to make good decisions on the touchdown, that 34-yard touchdown play. That same type play, he cut it back inside. This time he made a little move like he was going to go inside, then took it completely to the outside. That's the power sweep we keep talking about. Before he took that play around the inside, this time he dipped it, goes to the outside. Judson just overreacted a little bit, thinking of the touchdown play. And another first defense from junior high school, from the 7th and 8th grade. They've been running these plays through their system, and they've seen every defense imaginable. They don't make mistakes.
From the 50-yard line, Ward for 7 more down to the 43. Woods and Brown make the tackle for Judson.
Well, this is the football we expected to see from Odessa. Early, those 5 early passes were a little bit of a surprise. Now they're back doing what they do best.
At the end of the first quarter of the Texas Bowl, 5A Division I state championship from Texas Stadium. With the score, the Odessa Permian Panthers 7, the Converse Judson Rockets nothing. A title, and a major reason why was Gerard Douglas. Douglas would rush for more than 200 yards as the Rockets knocked off the Plano Wildcats at Floyd Casey Stadium in Waco 36-13, and the key man is now with our Kevin Eschenfelder on the sidelines. Kevin?
You got it, Gerard Douglas just finishing up his sophomore year at Baylor this year, a big year for you. Let's go back, though. Converse Judson, you think they'd be down 7-0 at this point right now? You could help this ball club out right now.
No, I think they got it all taken care of. Judson have a great coaching staff. You know, the game ain't over yet. They Permian them up by 7, but I wouldn't count Judson out just yet.
Is it frustrating to come back down here and look at the sidelines and watch this game?
Yeah, I mean, it's something you miss. You know, I had some real close friends on this football team that I played with, and just seeing them, you know, out there in the uniforms that we used to play in, it's a good feeling. You know, it's something I wish I could do all over again.
Gerard, appreciate you stopping by. Good luck to you.
All right, thank you.
Let's go back upstairs the correct way.
All right, Kevin, thank you. You saw Jaquay Wilburn take off again. He had the 34-yard touchdown run. This time he takes it for 27 yards and a first down to the Judson Rocket 20-yard line. Now it's Wilburn again. Toss sweep to the right. Ward the lead blocker. And Wilburn inside the 10 and down to the 8-yard line. Waters and Wilson ran him out of bounds.
Left, right, sweep left. If you want to get tired of that sweep, you're going to see it another way. Take a look at the lead blocker, though. Watch the blockers out in front. Watch the job Ward does right there. We're getting into that block. That'll open it up for Wilburn to get down the side. Like, you realize that young man that Kevin just talked to down there rushed for 6,100. Odessa for one loss.
It is 3rd and goal from the 14-yard line for Permian.
Unbalanced line to the right.
And the play goes right. And Grant breaks tackles and gets back to the 9-yard line for a gain of 5. Wilson made the tackle. Now it's 4th and goal from the 9, Coach.
Well, it's going to be interesting to see whether he wants to go for the field goal to get the 3 points. And I think he'll go for the field goal in this situation. You see the unbalanced line. They only had 2 linemen to the left side of the center. Brand hanging on the ball, keeping himself, and again trying to run one of those sweeps, just another different ball carrier running it. Brand thought he could get a little extra yard. He didn't make it. And I think they'll go for the 3 here.
Jeremy White will kick. This will be a 27-yard field goal try from the right hash. Out of the hole to Rogers. And White's field goal is no good. Jeremy White missed the field goal, pushed it to the right side, and we remain with a 7-0 game. Permian leads Judson in the Division I Texas Bowl.
Ray, Mr. High School himself, Darkside Show. Great job with a high school extra all year long.
Got a great crew all over the state today. 1st and 10, and Bruce Johnson is popped hard. Boy, was he hit and knocked down by Lance Temple.
You ever seen a high school extra? Take a look at it. It's a great thing. Take a look at the stick. Now they're trying to run the power sweep to the outside with Johnson. Getting up underneath the box and making the plays.
And that is the first down of the game for the Judson Rockets. Now from the Judson 34. And John Johnson, maybe a couple. Kai Balio makes the tackle for Permian.
I'll tell you what's amazing about both these defenses. Both of them are so quick. They've got such great team speed. Permian does a great job of running to the football. Both teams do a great job of running to the football.
Third down for Judson as they try to continue the drive here inside 8 minutes to go in the half. Anderson to throw. And it's caught, yes, at the 49-yard line by Carrier. What a catch. Everybody was screamed on the play. It looked as though it was going to Hill. It sailed right over Hill's hands.
That fumble on the punt by Teddy Carrier was so out of character. He has great hands. Got 44 passes. Take a look at him dive underneath the defensive player, makes the play. Great concentration by Carrier.
Judson, their third of this drive. 7.5 minutes to go in the half. Johnson. And Johnson in trouble, and he still leans forward for a couple. Heath Moody held him up, but Bruce Johnson, with his strength, managed to drag Moody and Jonathan Armendariz. Remaining in the half, Permian leads Judson 7-0. Number 34, out of the eye, that's Johnson. That's the Judson first down, inside the 30 to the 29. Justin Johns on the tackle for Bojo, but it's another Judson first down.
Boy, just run the play,
Bruce Johnson now over 2,000 yards rushing for the season. And it's Johnson with the call again. Down to the 27 for a couple. Couch makes the tackle for Permian.
Well, they have to wear down teams in the fourth quarter. Teams that are not used to this pace really must be worn down in the fourth. Take a look at Couch here now. Rory Couch underneath one block. Gets up in there, makes the tackle.
Second down and 7, a long 7.
Good pass protection, good coverage downfield. He had time, but no one was open.
Guy Anderson sees Bruce Johnson check back in, and we told you that last carry put him over 2,000 yards for the season. And that's pretty impressive average there, Ed.
I think the thing really impressive about all of that is he doesn't fumble the football, doesn't put it on the ground.
Now it's 3rd and 12. Judson from the Permian 31. And Anderson to throw again. With time. Down the middle. Caught by Carrier inside the 10. Johns makes the tackle. It'll be 1st and goal Rockets inside the Permian 9-yard line.
Hitting good defensive, hitting good pace of a football game. Much more exciting than a lot of those games you're going to see on Sunday afternoon.
It's getting a little too exciting at the moment for Randy Mays. He wants his defense to put the brakes on the Judson surge.
This time on the other side of the camera, Rusty Knight. He's a longtime cameraman for us here at Prime Sports, but he's also class of '65 from Odessa, Permian. No way you were working today.
No way I was working today. I couldn't do it. I couldn't watch the game and run the camera.
You couldn't watch the game and cheer at the same time.
That's right. I couldn't do it.
Coach Mays has a message for you.
Great.
Rusty Knight, this is Coach Mays. We appreciate your support. Make sure everybody up there knows we are calling the right plays.
A personal message there to Rusty Knight. It is 2nd and goal. Judson at the Permian 5-yard line. Johnson trying to sweep. In some trouble, but there's going to be a flag for a face mask. You saw the head snap back there, and as Bruce Johnson tried to turn it outside, Marine and Couch were on the tackle. And just outside the 2. Judson looking for the equalizer. Johnson trying to get it. And the guy won't do it. And once again, the linebackers come to the rescue for Permian. Heath Moody and Rory Couch do the job.
Well, Bruce watching too much of that TV. If you're going to dive, you try to go to the top, do that the inside, not trying to run to the outside. Try to run a little toss sweep to the outside. He wants to get up in the air and get over, but he's too far away from the goal line. That's a good attempt if you're running inside, but there he is up in the air and caught by some black jerseys.
They do bring him down.
Great thing about this, you got 7 Texas Bulls around this state.
It is 3rd down and goal for Judson. Off the play fake. Anderson dives in. Touchdown. Lunged for the pylon as he stretched it out. And the sprint to the corner gives Judson its first touchdown as Guy Anderson beat David Wyatt to the pylon.
Roll out, option pass or run. He decided that he could get it into the end zone, which is exactly what the coaches have told him all along. Whenever you can run it, here's the rollout. See the rollout now, a little fake coming out to his right. Got a personal blocker out there in front of him. He sees get it into the end zone. Right? That's all he wants to do, get inside that pylon for the touchdown. Here again, you see fake fullbacks are going to roll out to the right. Greg Swingerman is out there in the lead blocker for him, gets a little partial block there, and that's all Anderson needed to take it into the end zone.
Got around David Wada and then beat Rory Couch to the corner. And we're tied at 7 with 3:44 remaining.
And we've got a great football game going here. As I said earlier there, Texas bowl games, 7 of them. All the divisions played to a final bowl game. We got a 6-man football game tonight out at Sweetwater. About the game. Now wait a minute, no flag. Now he's saying no flag. Now this is the bad job of him. Let's take a look at it. Let's see what we got. But the official standing right there. He's right in perfect position to see where that ball goes into the end zone. He's right about a few yards behind it. See him standing right there. He's got a great look at the play. He has to make a decision on whether it's out on the 1-yard line, half-yard line, or whether it went into the end zone.
Well, of course, if it went out before the pylon, it would have been a penalty. But instead, they said that it carried over the pylon, which, of course, counts as the goal line there, and sailed inside of it before going out of bounds. You see Jaquay Wilbur, he was looking for a television replay of it. Jaquay already missed the replay. It was already in.
Well, the coaches want to talk to the officials about it. The official on their side.
Now Jason Cran brings the Panthers to the line from the 20. Marine in motion. Cross street to the right. That's Wilbur. Picks up close to 4 yards. Wilson and Brown make
the Panthers right now.
3rd down and 4 from the 26 as we tick down to 3 minutes remaining in the half. Wilbur started in a wing set and now shifts as the deep back. And it is Wilbur with the toss lead. Warren in front as the blocker, and it's not enough to 7 the score. First time that Judson and Permian, 2 storied powers in Class 5A, have ever met on the football field. It's been close a couple of times, but either one team or the other would come up just a little bit shy. So this is the first ever meeting between Judson and Permian.
And again, you can see that how these team programs play. So you see that he's not involved there. He's letting his offensive coaches wear that.
2nd and 7 with 50 seconds to go in the half. Anderson under pressure now to the run and has running room. Guy Anderson really pummeled by Jeremy Marine, but he picks up the first down, an 18-yard split to the bottom of your picture there with 36 seconds remaining in the half. Green, little screen, and it goes to the big tight end, Dan Morgan. Morgan inside the 10 and a first down at the Permian 9-yard line. 20 yards on the tight end down. Ball is at right at the 10-yard line.
We're setting formation here. There'll be something up to the left there. Play action press off the way from it.
And it's to the right side. And this will be a touchdown for Judson. To the big split end, Wilmer Wade. He beat Jason Cran to the same corner where the Rockets scored touchdown number 1. And Converse Judson leads for the first time in the Texas Bowl.
What a great job of utilizing the management. There's the touchdown play, but the thing that set this up, they did not waste any time in this drive, did not waste very few seconds getting set, getting plays called, getting out of bounds, using the movement of the chains as you get in high school football where they stop the clock to get it set. Great job by Guy Anderson. And
timeout at its disposal. And Jason Cran will bring the Panthers out of the huddle. With Ward and Marine in the backfield. Cran to throw. And he's looking for Wilbur deep and overthrew it. But I'll tell you what, Jaquay Wilbur, who lined up as a receiver, had a step on the Judson defense.
Judson defensive coach a little bit unhappy about that situation. Open out. Cran shows he has the arm strength to get it out there. Just overthrew this pass for a couple yards. As you can see, he had a couple steps on the defensive backs.
And Marine again, along with Martese Rogers, the receivers. And it will be Wilbur with the run. And across the 30-yard line, and that's going to do it for the first half. Very entertaining first 24 minutes of football. And then again, you probably expected that from Randy May's team. And of course, D.W. Rutledge's.
Right now, 7 points is nothing. Either side, we got to go play. We got to play offensively in the first quarter, like we did the first quarter.
Good luck in the second half.
All right, let's take it back upstairs, Craig Way.
All right, thank you very much, Kevin Eschen. Colors, we take a look at the Texas Lottery halftime statistics here. Close in some areas, and Ed Miles not close in other areas.
Well, the rushing yardage by Odessa, of course, 156 yards to 65. A little difference there. Passing yardage in Judson's favor, 180 total yards, 151. One turnover by Judson. Didn't hurt him, though. It was on an early punt situation. 2 penetrations for Judson, 1 for Odessa. So the score of 14-7 kind of gives you a good indication. And the interesting thing about this, preseason, 980 high school coaches in the state of Texas, their synopsis was that these 2 teams, Judson would be number 1 in the state, Odessa Permian would be number 3. The high school coaches had a pretty good feel on what was going to happen in Texas high school football this year.
Take a look at the first half highlights. Permian striking first.
Well, that's Woodburn taking the ball outside, cutting it back inside, taking it 34 yards into the end zone. Woodburn with a great first half. Over 100 yards rushing. That's a good drive, 83 yards. That's what Odessa needs here in the third. Puts a lot of pressure on them with this quick offense.
It is 3rd down and 7 for the Rockets. The ball just across the midfield stripe. Draw play to Johnson. He's got the first down and then some. Down to scrimmage right out of the gate here in the second half. Anderson to throw. And he cannot find Wade. Wade had it in his hands. Rogers on the coverage for the Panthers. And Wilmer Wade, who scored a go-ahead touchdown in the first half, can't hold on here.
Well, Anderson showed he has good arm and the accuracy he's had. He's a good job of reading the defense. The only problem that happens here, though, is Wade just doesn't catch the football. Good close, good hit, but that ball is a catchable one. Again, Anderson showed you his ability to read it.
2nd down and 10. You see the numbers on Guy Anderson. 50% completion.
Reverse.
Yep, it is. Coming around as carrier from Johnson. And a nice ankle tackle made by Lance Temple, the defensive end, to prevent that from being a big gainer.
Well, if Temple doesn't make that play, that might have gone into the end zone.
It goes as a 4-yard gain for the Rockets, and they'll face 3rd down and 6.
Austin Johnson, of course, have a tendency to go after him. Makes a good handoff. And right here, if Temple doesn't make that tackle, you can see a lot of open green in front of him.
3rd down now, and the Rockets have converted their last 6 3rd down situations, and they do want to throw. Anderson for Carrier, and Teddy Carrier has another first down. Martese Rogers made the tackle, but it's down to the 13-yard line. It goes for now with the play from the Judson sideline. As you look at Matt Hare, it is 3rd down and 4. Judson at the Permian 7. And Johnson with the call. Johnson inside the 5, and he is going to be short of the first down by about a yard. Justin Johns and Jason Brand chased him out of bounds. It'll be 4th and a yard to go from the 4.
Dougie's got a decision to make here, whether he wants to go to the field goal or go for it. I think he wants to. I'm not sure he's going to go for it. There's the play, of course, that Johnson took it down into there. Got to make a decision whether they want to go for it on 4th down.
And they bring on Mark Caldwell, so look for the Rockets to set up to try a field goal of about 21 yards. There's Caldwell.
Well, next up now, I'm not quite sure. They're probably going to burn a timeout here now. We're going to have to do something quickly here. Play clock is down 10.
Caldwell's longest field goal of the season has been 32. He's 2 out of 2. This one from 21 yards. And he got it. 8:37 to go in the 3rd quarter. First drive of the second half for Judson results in points. The Rockets lead it by 10.
Great Caldwell has been perfect. They need to control the ball and put some points back on the board. They need to get that defense a little bit of rest.
Rudy Magnato to kick it off. And Jeremy Marine will field it at the 3-yard line. Marine breaks the tackle. Marine, one man to beat, and that one man, Teddy Carrier, kept him from taking it the distance. It's out to the 49-yard line, a 46-yard return on the second half kickoff by Jeremy Marine.
What else does Teddy Carrier do? Take a look at the good job now. They kicked it to that side, knowing that they'd have to return it that way. Permian does a great job of blocking in there. And again, Carrier just playing an outstanding football game for control after they received the opening kickoff to come back here now in the second half and throw again. Back to the first half, the first 5 plays, they threw 4 passes.
8 minutes, 24 seconds remaining in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 Permian from the Panthers 49.
And way back reverse out of this formation one time.
It is a popular play with the Panthers. They have run it on occasion. Not this time. Toss sweep to Wilburn. Turning the corner. And Judson Wilburn down the sidelines and another Permian first down. He did put a foot on the sideline at the 27-yard line. Went out of bounds at the 27, but it will go as a big carry of 24 yards and a first down.
Well, you talked about Jeremy Marine. Look at the big block he made here. Good cut block with the defensive end right out of the play, which opened it up for Wilburn to take it down the sideline.
Permian trying to answer the Judson scoring drive with one of their own. And the Mojo fans wanting to see that success. Armendariz in motion to the left. That's Wilburn again with blocking. Inside the 20 to the 19. Pick up the 9 more. Medrano on the tackle for the Rockets.
Like both offensive coaches made some adjustments at halftime. Both teams moving the ball. There's a counter play. You see number 66 lead the play. Russell Crumpton coming across there. Number 75, Jason May. They play strong side and weak side. Their offensive guards and tackle. They always line up for the strong.
See it be an offsetting situation now. So instead, they'll do it all over again. It'll be 2nd down and a long 2. The nose of the football right at the tip of the 20-yard line, looking inside of the 20. 7.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter.
Odessa needs points out of this drive.
Ward and Wilburn shift. And that's Marine in motion. And it's to Wilburn again with a seam. And Wilburn's going to score for the 2nd time today. 20 yards this time. And Permian is an extra point away from trimming the margin to 3.
Well, great play, great drive. Odessa's offense came back and answered what they had to do. And there's the Mojo flag down the sideline. I think they might have been an unbalanced line on that play, Craig. I couldn't quite see it. Let's see if we can take another look at this play. Yeah, they are. The unbalanced line. They're running a little quick pick back to the backside of Wickford. Wilburn, good job of cutting back, getting it into the end zone, and he is an outstanding back. Just a junior.
Jeremy White on for the conversion. And he's got it. 7.5 minutes exactly remaining here in the third quarter. The score now, Converse Judson 17, Odessa Permian 14 here in the Texas Bowl. 5A Division I. Trimmed to 3 at 17-14 after one incomplete pass on the drive. 3 Judson Wilburn runs account for the touchdown.
Good job by Ward leading the play, but also an excellent job by May and Crumpton and Brooks and Bobo and McElhill for the offensive line to lead that play. One drive, of course. 4 plays and 51 yards. Wilburn had a couple pretty good gainers in that drive.
He had all 51 yards. The Mojo fans excited. The band was just playing the theme from Hawaii 5-0. And if you know something about Mojo mystique and the Permian tradition, you know that the band loves to play the theme from Hawaii 5-0 to symbolize 5-0. 5 steps to a state championship. 5 weeks.
5 weeks. And Mojo, what does that mean?
Don't even get into that. That's going to take a while to explain that.
Well, that's a spirit. That's a feeling.
That's right. There's really no way to accurately describe it if you talk to the folks from the Basin. Here's the kick. And Carrier to field it at the 8. Teddy Carrier out of the 23-yard line, and that's where Judson begins this possession.
The great thing about both.
Now with 6:35 to go in the quarter, Anderson and Kerr exchange thoughts as they come to the line. And this is Johnson. Bruce Johnson. No, sir, says Rory Couch, who stands him up and drives him down.
There's a flag down. Usually, let's see what he's got here. Flag down.
Now it'll be Guy Anderson again, bringing Judson to the line.
Ran a draw play in this formation before.
This time off the play fake, Anderson to throw. And caught at the 31-yard line. Made by Mike Carletti. Marine makes the tackle for Permian.
Have you ever seen football teams that tackle as well as these youngsters do? I mean, they just tackle. When they get near a guy, there's very few missed tackles. will roll out, counter play to the left, moves his feet, gets in a great position to deliver the ball, makes the completion for short gain.
Second down, and still 21 yards needed for a Judson first down. This time it's the draw play, and nothing doing for Bruce Johnson. Good tackles made by the Permian defense. Nathan Matson leading the charge.
Crack through people who are helping us, come right up to the number I talked about. And to this point, there has been 79 plays in this football game, in a high school football game. Look at that look. Again, look at the tackle. Everything is crisp, clean, good tackle.
5:13 remaining in the third quarter. Judson leads Permian in a good one, 17-14. Fourth playoff game in 1 month here at Texas Stadium. First and 10 Permian. The ball from the Panther 43. After the penalty, and it's Wilburn again. Jaquay Wilburn's having a tremendous performance this afternoon.
They flipped the play over. They ran that touchdown play with Wilburn to the left side. This time they turned it right around and ran it right back here to the right side. Didn't have quite the same success running to the right as they had to the left.
It's a gain of 3 to the 47, and it will be second down and a long 6 with 4:45 remaining in the third quarter. Jason Brand, a toss out to Marine, who's brought down back at the 30. Down at 13 for Odessa. Permian, the ball at the Panther 40-yard line. Marine in motion. And Brand looks to throw. In trouble. Gonna go down.
By these players.
That's how you get to this level. Continue to not lose your tackles. Make your plays. Punt now for Jeff Dinger. End over end. Fielded by Carrier at the 27. Teddy Carrier up to the 33-yard line. And the ball may have come loose.
He's down. Officially not going to let this go be a down.
Yeah. 22 is at the state semifinal level today and tonight. First and 10 Rockets from the 32. Johnson for a couple to the 34. Rory Couch, another mojo tackle.
Over right after he walks out of there. Continue with the coaching. Again, there's what you're at. Championship game. Your coaches, assistant coaches are still coaching and working the game.
Second down and 7 now. And on the option, it backfires. Anderson goes down in the arms of Justin Johns, the linebacker. And it will bring up third down and long for the Rockets.
Here's the look at it. Play action, and we run kind of an option. Quarterback keeper, design keeper by the quarterback. Justin Johns, one of those great linebackers in this ball game. 5 pounds. And he can hit, he can tackle, and he can run.
That's a typical Permian linebacker. Not big, but long on heart and desire. Third and 8 from the 34. Anderson to throw off the screen to Hill with running room. First down for Hill and more out to the 47-yard line. Brand made the tackle, but not before Darrell Hill turned it into a 13-yard gain.
It's the second big screen pass that they've had success with. And tough situation to complete a 1-2. Morgan, who took it down and set up a touchdown, and this time a third and long situation. Did a good job of setting it up. Anderson did a great job of setting the screen pass up. Make the tackle. Couch good to get off the block to make the tackle. There's another screen.
And once again, this time to Matt Hare, the fullback. And Hare, down the sidelines is Hare. And he stepped out of bounds at the 29-yard line.
Football someplace. Got a good feel for what's going on out there.
2 receivers to the left. Anderson looks that way. Stepped up in the pocket, hit the pass. It's short of the first down. Carrier just outside the 20. He's going to be about a yard and a half short of the first down. Now it's an interesting choice.
I think DW will go for it. I think DW will go for it. I don't think he's going to settle trying for another field goal. This would be a much longer field goal. Good protection. Again, the key is protection. Look at him set in the pocket, steps up, good delivery. I think you're going to see him go for it here under these circumstances.
Well, not only would it be long, Ed, also field goal would only put you up 6 at that point.
That's right. That's why for sure he would go for a big play right now, though.
Biggest in the game so far. It is 4th down and about 2, just outside the 20. From the eye. Anderson throws it off. And here goes Jason Plan. Plan to midfield. They're not going to catch it. Say goodnight to this one. Jason Plan It's going to go 81 yards for a Permian touchdown. Talk about your turn of events.
Oh, you said it. That's a big play, the biggest play of the game. And going into that situation, you said this could be the biggest play of the game. As it turned out, Odessa Permian with a defensive turnover. Permian, of course, the type of team. 14 interceptions at their 15th. Their defense has hit 31 takeaways this year. That one was the biggest of the season.
On for the conversion is White. And this would give Permian a 4-point edge with 25 seconds to go in the quarter.
And that was the quarterback, Jason Graham, who made that interception, took it all the way.
Of course, he doubles as the safety. Now Jeremy White on for a pretty important conversion. And he gets it. 25 seconds to go in the third quarter. It is 21-17 Permian.
The pressure up in his face got hit a little bit as he delivered the ball. There was a defensive lineman, I think it was David Wada, who got in there and made that pressure heading low. That's what forced the bad pass for the interception. Jason Crane, Johnny on the spot, so to speak, took it off and took it down the sideline, and got 21-17. Great football game.
Boy, and we expected every bit of this and then some, and we still have 1 quarter and 25 seconds of football remaining.
This game is not over. Encouragement.
We look down the history book at Permian. It was 30 years ago for Mojo that the Panthers captured their first state title. They beat San Antonio Lee 11-6. That game played on a cold and windswept day with rain and snow in San Angelo. They lost twice to Austin Reagan. Then Gil Bartosh claimed his Lone State title as head coach as they blew out Baytown Sterling in 1972. Where Natchez Groves defeated Permian here at Texas Stadium in 75. They came back in 1980 and beat Port Arthur Jefferson in 80, and then in 84 tied Beaumont French. Lost to an incredible Houston Yates team here 10 years ago. Then beat Aldine here at Texas Stadium in 1989, and their last state title claimed also here in Irving as they beat John Marshall's Rams. Leading Converse Judson 21-17 at the end of 3. We'll be back for the final 12 minutes of the state championship matchup right after this on Prime. First Judson.
What's Dad to live like on a week like this?
Oh man, it just wears them out. By the end of this week, he's just wore out. You know, you work 7 days a week, and plus with the hype of a game like this, it's a big deal.
All right, Clint, good luck to you in school at Baylor.
Thank you, thanks a lot.
All right, let's go back upstairs. Craig Way.
Thank you, Kevin. And David Wada comes through with the big quarterback sack. Wada with the sack of Anderson here, a loss of 8 yards.
Coming to this game, Anderson has only been sacked 1 time in his last 166 attempts. So you can see a rare thing happening there, a sack on Judson's quarterback.
Well, you see Judson has controlled the clock, but Permian has done the lion's share of the scoring here, or they would say the Panthers' share. It is 3rd and 20 now for Judson from the Rockets' head. Down the middle and wide open is Wade. And there goes Wade. Will not catch it. This goes 90 yards, and the Rockets are back on top. New score. Judson 24, Permian 21 on the 90-yard strike from Anderson to Wade. Your move, Permian.
Heath Moody, man-to-man coverage, slipped off the coverage. Now the defensive safety's trying to recover to make the tackle. With all the great tackle we've talked about all year, there was a couple of missed tackles. Wade with his longest play of the year, 91 yards. He had one 48-yarder. That's his 5th touchdown. Captain Wade puts his football team back ahead.
And Wilmer Wade is having an outstanding game. It's been tough in the 3rd quarter. Early in the final period. Here goes Jafway Wilmer out over the 30 to the 31, 32-yard line. Wilson made the tackle for Rockets move the chains. This time it's Johnson's turn. And Bruce Johnson gets loose outside. Johnson 9-yard line. Bruce Johnson this time. First and goal from the 9. Anderson on the roll. Got Carrier for the touchdown. Teddy Carrier in the scoring column. And with 6:09 to go, it now becomes a commanding margin for Converse Judson.
With Odessa position, they need 2 scores.
The Judson Rockets lead it by 10, 31-21. Time remaining in the game, and the Judson Rockets, Ed Biles, come up with a big touchdown drive.
Roll out. Teddy Carrier for the touchdown. Roll out again, rolling out to his right. Looking, finds Carrier. Spread that wealth around. Anderson, touchdown. Wade with a touchdown. Carrier with a touchdown.
And of course, the Rockets loaded up the backfield with 3 men on that play.
3 people over here, which means that kicker is going to shorten down where they can run the ball. They're forcing them to return it straight up the right side. That kick will go over to the right side, which means they have to return it up to the right side where they got all the people lined up.
And it is Marine from the 6. And they're all lined up open. Marine's still on his feet. Marine's still moving. And another good kickoff return by Jeremy Marine. He takes it out to the 44-yard line, 38 yards on that return by Marine.
That young man went off early in the ball game with what looked like a pretty good sprained ankle. You talk about landing on the line for your team. You almost had that kickoff return, even though they put it right in the strength of where the coverage team was at.
After the final quarter remaining, the task is now down to the Permian offense. Can it answer the Judson touchdown drive? Ward splits out as a receiver along with Marine, as does Wilburn. And this is going to Jaquay Wilburn, and it led him too much. Wilburn got behind Ashley Waters.
Right in the strength of where the coverage team was at.
After the final quarter remaining, the task is now down to the Permian offense. Can it answer the Judson touchdown drive? Ward splits out as a receiver along with Marine, as does Wilburn. And this is going to Jaquay Wilburn, and it led him too much. Wilburn got behind Ashley Waters, the linebacker. Otherwise, it's 56 yards and a touchdown.
All he put on the line. All he had to do was lay that ball up in the air. As you hear coaches talk about it all the time. Put a little air under the ball. If he had put a little air under that ball, we might have had that quick touchdown to win it. But just passed the ball that much. So they're going to be out of character on that play if they put the ball up in the air.
3rd down and 12 now from the 42. 5:10 remaining in the game. Right. This is going to be a pass off the wingback. Moody has to go back the other way. And Moody is still moving. And a 1st down for Permian. That wasn't the way it was drawn up, but Moody, the wingback, turns it into a 13-yard gain and a 1st down.
What else can you say in this football game? Another great effort, individual great effort by Moody, playing linebacker defensively. Take a look. This is again, you got another quarterback who's going to make a pretty good block. This was a design pass. Moody, obviously a left-handed passer. Nobody was open. He does a good job of making sure he gets a partial block coming across it, and he gets the big 1st down that they needed on the 3rd and long.
From the Judson 43, a sweep as Wilburn inside the 40, down to the 38-yard line goes Jaquay Wilburn for 5 more. David Washington on the tackle for Judson.
And you got to hurry.
Another 3rd down situation for Permian. At the 41-yard line of the Rockets, 3.5 minutes to go. Ran to throw. Got a man wide open. And it is caught. Touchdown, Jonathan Armendaris.
What else can we say in this football game?
41 yards. Armendaris put the hearts of the Permian fans into their collective throats as he juggled it, and he pulled it down for the score, and Mojo's spirit lives with 3:25 remaining.
I think he juggled that ball. I think he juggled that ball 3 times. Little play action here. Doesn't look like he's going to be there. Puts it up in the air with a little air. I watch it. Boom, bounce once, bounce twice, bounce 3 times. Finally, he brought it down. What a great effort. What great concentration by Armendaris.
White to try to get it to within 3. And he does. With 3:25 to go in the game, this Texas Bowl was living up to the hype. 8 Rockets because of this touchdown pass.
Puts it up in the air, allows Auburn to concentrate. Look at the concentration. Look at those eyes following the ball. Look at his eyes on top of the ball all the way even down to the ground. Great concentration.
Never took his eyes off it, and Jason Brand obviously is thrilled by what he sees.
And you know the amazing thing about them? Jonathan only had 3 receptions coming into this football game. You talk about people stepping up and making plays.
Well, each team has all 3 of its timeouts remaining, so there is. If Permian does kick a field goal, and Judson does no more scoring, and this game ends in a 31-31 tie, you have state co-champions of Class 5A Division I.
Well, I tell you what, that might be fitting for this football game. Neither one of these teams deserve to lose this football game. They have played and played. The coaches have done a great job. And the players they have made. You know, it's amazing the big individual plays that individual players have made when they needed to make them. Clock at the can now. There's 15 seconds left on that 25-second play clock, so they want to run it down. I'm sure if Odessa stops them on this running play, that they'll use it for
2nd down and 7. They get the play snapped with 2 seconds left on the clock, on the play clock, and Bruce Johnson does move it up to a 43, and now the Panthers call the first of their 3 timeouts.
High school signees for colleges, like 280, right around that number, were signed out of Texas high school to go on and get the opportunity to get a degree at the collegiate level because of their athletic ability playing football.
That's a foregone conclusion because I think it is proven year in, year out, the best high school football in the United States is played right here in the state of Texas.
Well, I think the difference between high school football here is at the other levels. I've been around a lot of different states, but when you get down to 2A, the 3A, the 1A, their football is much better than the other states. 5A football in all the places, Florida, Ohio, California, the places you hear about the same. But as you go down 4, 3, 2, 1, much better here in the state of Texas.
Here's a big play on both sides. It's 3rd down and 4. Judson from the Rocket 43. Anderson wants to throw, and he's sacked back at the 35.
Well, get that timeout right away. Don't waste time. Jump and get the timeout. They're wasting seconds. They're wasting seconds.
Now they call the timeout. David Wada and Heath Booty make the sack. A huge defensive play for Permian. It's a loss of 9 for Judson, and with 1:43 remaining, the Rockets will have to punt.
Well, this is a rollout option pass or run. No one is open. Anderson again. Anderson making a good decision not to throw it up for grab. Took the loss. Recognizes that we're still ahead in this football game. Anderson makes this type. Nobody fumbling over to him. They have 1 turnover by each team.
Here comes the punt by Mike Carletti. Permian has 10 men on the line of scrimmage. They'll bring everybody.
I don't think they're trying to block it.
And the kick is away. Fair catch called for and made by Marine at the 28. Permian will get the football with 1 timeout and 1:37 seconds remaining. A 37-yard kick by Carletti. And Jason Brand has to try to lead the Panthers down the field one final time, down 31-28.
Who will make the big play, offensively or defensively, for Judson or the Panthers?
1st and 10, Permian. 97 seconds remaining in the game. Single setback right now. The deep back is Wilbur who gets the call. That's L.C. Ward, rather, and Ward will go out of bounds, which is certainly 28. Permian will get the football with 1 timeout and 1:37 seconds remaining. A 37-yard kick by Carletti. And Jason Brand has to try to lead the Panthers down the field one final time, down 31-28.
Who will make the big play, offensively or defensively, for Judson or the Panthers?
1st and 10, Permian. 97 seconds remaining in the game. Single setback right now. The deep back is Wilbur who gets the call. That's L.C. Ward, rather, and Ward will go out of bounds, which is certainly...
Again next week, I'd love to see the Texas high school football coaches agree that all of the final, the 2A, the 1A, the 3A, and the 4A are played at the Sentinel site, so they have the opportunity to televise them all and see how great high school football is around this state. Do it in 2-day period or whatever it might take. And I think the fans would love it. I think the coaches would adjust to moving around the state and have the Sentinel locations.
3rd and 5 now for Odessa Permian from the Panther 34. Ran the throw again down the middle. Here comes the pressure. Pran escapes it. He got the first down. That was so close to being a big defensive play for Judson. Instead, Jason Pran escapes it for 8 yards. He picks up the first down with 1:19 to go. Huerta makes the tackle coming up from behind. Now the clock will move.
Well, I'll tell you what, that was maybe a touchdown-saving tackle that was made there.
1:15, you see the time. Rodgers split out